All right. It's Derby week, Joe.
Hell
Derby
yeah,
week.
it was. Fuck
Bro.
yeah, dude.
So, in typical fashion, we seem to make jokes for our cold open. So, I'm going to ask you a question and I want you to answer me. So did you hear that the post office just recalled all the latest stamps?
It did, huh?
Yeah. You
Man,
want to know why?
why'd they do that?
They had pictures of Manchester United players on them, and people couldn't figure out which side to spit on.
Burn.
Welcome
Burn.
to the Stadium!
You are now tuned into the Snobby Boy Podcast.
All right, everybody. Welcome to the show. My name's Colby. That's my boy Joe over there, Mr. Chilling Tan. We are in the post markings of the Derby match against United. Holy shit balls. What the? That was a crazy game.
What a match.
What a fucking match. We have a jam-packed episode for you guys. Lots to talk about. We also have a very big surprise. As you can see to the right of Joe, there's an empty space. Why is there an empty space?
What's going on?
Why would we have an empty space? It's weird.
What's in the space?
What's in the space? So we did some soul searching. We had some talks. And Mr. Kyle, my best friend, the man who brought me to Manchester City, is officially back with the Snobby Boys. Everybody give a big round of applause for Mr. Kyle Coulson. Welcome back, buddy.
It's a pleasure.
He is back to stay. That's our first big surprise. But before we get into too many things, I want to make sure that you guys do something real quick, okay? We do it every week. Every podcaster does it. We do the same. You know what the drill is. Make sure that you do that for us. Also, please go out and check out, and we'll be showing you guys a little slide of all the shirts we got. But make sure that you go on and check out our merchandise shop, bonfire.com/store/snobby-store/. So with that, as we said, it's it is Derby week. We had a match though prior to the Derby week, the Derby day, excuse me, against Luton. So we're going to talk about that for a little bit. Funny enough, I was just talking about those damn T-shirts, and I was telling you I was going to play an ad. So I'm going to do that real quick, just to show you guys what we got in the catalog. I also want to tell you guys a little bit about the last one that we have in the slide. Very, very big deal for us. We want to give back to our community in some way, shape, or form, and I'll elaborate a little bit more on that as I show you. Here's a look at what we got. This is our No Room for Wankers Ever shirt. Anti-Journo used to be on the front. That was our first edition. This is the second edition. If you hate Man United, yes, sir. This one is, if you can't tell, this is Manchester. This is exactly where the Etihad is in the coordinates. A little ode to the Oasis boys. And, of course, the last one, which we released today. It is specifically for our official support club, the Capital City Blues. With this shirt, we want to bring awareness to mental health. With that, in lieu of that, every dollar that gets sent to us for that shirt goes to Mental Health America in Alexandria, Virginia.
Woo.
Got to show support for mental health. we're coming out of the season where mental health is a big struggle for a lot of people, especially during the holidays. Every day is a day to keep your mental health awareness about. Make sure that you're checking on your friends. Make sure that you're saying something to a stranger that you see who may be down on their luck. More importantly, take care of yourself, because if you can't take care of yourself, you can't take care of anybody else. Am I right?
Can't pour from an empty bucket.
No.
You
You
cannot.
cannot.
Put your mask on first. See how many of these we can do.
Exactly.
So let's get into it, shall we? Luton Town, FA Cup match in Luton Town. You had to get to the Dominoes to get there. We came out looking very organized and well trained for this match, guys. Anybody who wants to talk on that?
I mean,
Well,
when you just bust out and Erling is just rolling out goals, like I mean, it felt like a training day. Like it was glorious.
Yes. Yes.
It was definitely one of those where you were expecting and hoping for a big score line. We hadn't seen one of those for our boys in a little while. It's been a while since we've hung
We needed it.
a
Fuck,
big
we need
number.
that.
And Luton played right into our hands, which was really nice to see. I was shocked a little bit at the strategy of playing Erling Haaland and Kevin De Bruyne man-to-man and a very high line as well.
Yeah.
Cool strategy, coach. Didn't quite work out, but big ups and respect for at least going for it, knowing it was a cup tie, and whether you lose 8-0 or 1-0, it's still a loss. You're still out of the cup. So it doesn't really matter if you get drubbed.
Nice
If I
one.
can talk right now. Thanks.
Thrubbed. Just
Flip
thrubbed.
it. Throw it up on the socials. So respect for them for trying and not just sitting back and going into a shell once we scored early. But really curious tactic to come out with right from the get-go of we're going to put one center back on Erling Haaland and we're going to play him really high. So all they need to do is hit long through balls all night long to score. And happened quite a few times.
It was beautiful. And seeing Kevin back in form like that too, like that link up is just unreal. And I mean, we do have to say, like, you know, yes, they obviously their tactics didn't quite work out, but they came out, they went after us, they gave it a go. I mean, it was 3-2 at one point, you know, like it wasn't a bad game. And then we just said, listen, we're better than you. C'est la vie. But fucking great match.
Yeah, tip your cap to their goal scorer. I think it was Clark. I think it was who had two really nice chances on either side of halftime. I think it was, and made it a little tighter in the second half. I think than we were expecting when he scored that to get to 3-2, and then they went and turned the gear back up. And like you said, the Kevin to Erling 4 times in a row, just absolute magic and brilliance watching those two back together. And then Bernardo Silva had the nerve to get into the mix and assist Haaland for his 5th goal. That's Kevin's job.
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
Bernardo.
Yeah. We need you for other things. Go be wily out.
Also, it's good to know Ross Barkley isn't dead, right? Like, I mean,
Yeah.
Poor guy.
Did you guys see?
quick-
Did you guys see Kevin posted on I guess Wednesday on his social the "How can I assist you" social thing again for Erling? I love it. It just gives me the warm and fuzzies when I see them like romancing on social media for everybody to see. It's awesome.
Yeah. Real quick, I'm gonna pull up our predicted lineup from that match. I love watching you two sing on the back end of that. That's hilarious. It's always off time, which is even more funny. So one of the things that I want to make mention with our predicted lineup is for the Luton match, we came out what most would say is fairly strong for a side that, I mean, even if we would have went with what was predicted, I feel like we probably still would have at least won that with one goal up. The way that Pep switched that all around and brought that firepower, do we actually think that it was necessary for that match, considering one of the results early on in the first half?
I think what Pep was doing was saying, let's go after it. Let's get our top dogs in form and playing together, knowing we have a big run of matches coming up. We have United, obviously. We have Liverpool next weekend. We have a Champions League match midweek coming up. So I think Pep was saying, let's get our studs some time together on the pitch, because I think that was necessary to get them flowing and ready to go, because this next 3 or 4 week stretch is going to play a big factor, I think, into the results of, at least of the Premier League. We got the Champions League spread out a little bit more, but with the Prem the way it is, and having Arsenal and Aston Villa and Liverpool still on the next few matches, it's going to be important that our studs are playing well together at the same time.
Agreed.
1000%. Like that was my whole thing about it, is like, yeah, just let it, I mean, you know, you want to be respectful, but fuck that. It's the Premier League. We're not fucking, these aren't 10-year-olds or whatever, you know? So let the boys fucking go cook and, you know, do their thing and get some confidence in and be ready for, yeah, like today, or God, fucking Liverpool.
I have a question for you guys too with the lineup selection, because Jack was chosen to start, and I was wondering if, considering what happened with his injury again, do you think Pep brought him back too soon, and maybe he should have been a 20-30 minute guest appearance in the second half instead of starting from the jump? Excellent timing on that one. Ellie in the house again. What up, girl?
Yeah, thank you for tuning in. She said she would. She held up to a word, so rock on.
Right on.
So the big happening that happened for this match for us, Jack went off. Did we bring Jack back a little too fast, do you think?
I think so.
That's bigger. Yeah.
It seemed that, I mean, just like how he just, like, the way it all transpired, like the way he went down, the way it was just like, not like, it was just like, it was literally like Pep was like, listen, you just let me know if there's anything, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's how it felt. And so.
Well, and going into this week, or excuse me, that match, there was a lot of talk around, Jack's, there being a rift between Jack and Pep, but then also because of that, him not getting into the first team. Obviously, he played his fucking heart out before, or he trained his fucking heart out before that match to be able to get into that side. Because in all honesty, I don't really believe that we needed him. Doku could have sufficed early on and probably went the full 90, in my opinion. But for somebody who has such a almost specific role with us in terms of Jack, and the way that he plays, the way he carries himself on the left, I don't understand. I didn't really understand the thinking. Even if you had what most would call niggles going in on your, whatever happened with him. I believe it was a hamstring, was it not?
I just saw muscular. I didn't see much more than that.
I want to say he re-aggravated what was already, the injury that he kind of already had prior coming in this match. This is where I question Pep. And I usually don't do that. I'm usually very pro his choices and understanding of where he's coming from. But knowing that Jack was already, I just don't feel like this is the right time.
Pep probably could have made an executive decision and said no, but I think he trusted the training staff and the doctors that were telling him that he was ready to go and fully fit. I don't think Pep would have just thrown Jack out there if he wasn't quite ready. So I think he was listening to the training staff and the backroom group who were saying that he was ready, and probably listening a bit to Jack, because I'm sure Jack was itching to get back out there and was saying, I'm good. Please put me back out there. I'm ready. But Pep has a final call on all those things when it comes to who starts, who's on the bench, all that stuff. So it's hard to question him, but I feel like that was a little bit too soon to throw him back out, especially knowing that Jack's trying to prove himself. So he's going to go hard, and you don't necessarily need him to do that right away, because once you rebuild that muscle back up, others are now working harder to compensate for that pulled muscle, which leads to like recurring injury and pulling other muscles in that area, in his thigh area. So, but hopefully he's back for Arsenal. And I do think we missed Jack on the left the rest of that Luton match, even though we put up 6. And I definitely think we missed him in the first half against United, and we'll get to why about that later on once we get to that match. But I do think his style of play was missing for sure.
See, I have a little different take on this. I fully believe that like Jack is sitting there being like, I'm fucking ready. Like, my minutes have been a little spotty this season, blah, blah, blah. Let me just fucking go in. Like, I think, like you're saying, physios, all of that. I'm sure everyone's like, yeah, he's, obviously he's training. He's doing fine. And if he, it comes down to, then really Jack being like, I'm ready to fucking go. And then Pep, sure. But if Jack's not saying that, then, it's not happening. So realistically, I just think, Jack is like, please, please, sir, give me some more. And
that's right where my head went. That's right where my head went when you did that. Perfect.
It sucks that it happened, but I think it was just a shitty situation. I don't think it was anybody's fault. I think it was just I want to get back on the pitch.
That makes sense.
And I mean, you can't blame him for that, and especially like I said, with how hard he tried to get into the side for this specific match. Very unfortunate at the end of the day. Grealish brings a clearly different pace to Doku. I mean, Doku gets to the point where he kind of overcompensates for his speed sometimes. It doesn't know how to put the brakes on correctly, losing balls out the back end, just bad cuts sometimes. I mean, his cuts are becoming a little bit predictable, and as speedy as he is, you'd think he'd be able to elevate his game a little bit, especially on 2 defenders. But there are too many times over the last 5-6 matches where he's been in and he has been shut down. And I don't know what Pep needs to do to maybe elevate his game a little bit. I think it's coming. But all in the same, Jack is more important than people put out. Like he really is a massive part of this team, and it should be noted.
Absolutely. And with Doku, I put that in my notes while I was watching the game, that his issue right now is what plagues all young players across sports. You jump in, you have a really good stretch of a couple of weeks to start off, and now people have film on you, and they're watching what you like to do and what makes you successful. And then they start game planning for that, and they know what to do to take you away. These are other professionals that you're going against. They are watching your film, and they have coaches who are pointing out saying, these are his tendencies, take that away. And what he has yet to do at this point is come up with a counter move to what was working so well at the beginning of the season that teams are now taking away. He has not figured out how to counter their counter move. So that comes with wisdom and age and experience. So that will get there. There's so much to work with him. There are so many tools for Pep in the assistant coaches to work with to help him. It'll come. It's just going to take time and experience of him being out on the pitch, making those mistakes, and then learning from them and realizing that I can't do the same thing every time, and I have to have a counter move. I have to have this with his pace. there's so much to work with and to create for himself there. So I fully expect him to get to that point. It just takes a little bit of time to realize that when you're 21 years old. So
right. Well, and even on that tip, just speaking on age, think of how many players we have between the ages of 20 and 23 right now that have long contracts with us. Their game is about to go up over the next years. If I was any other team, knowing the way that our academy is, knowing the low value, high quality players that we end up picking up in the transfers, i.e., Julian Alvarez, i.e., Max my friends loaned out, but there's so many players that we can build around, and I'm just talking about one or two. We're talking about almost 9-10 players here, including Holland. Like, we're scary as shit going forward. So I can only imagine.
The city train's not slowing down anytime soon. Just because Pep might be leaving in the next few seasons, whatever he decides to go, we're not slowing down, folks. The city train is full for steam. We're going forward, baby.
And he's even said, City gives me everything I need to win. And as long as that continues, I will stay. So
about Doku, before we jump a little bit, hang on. Like I do want to say one thing, because like if you look at Jack last year, Jack was doing the exact same moves. Jack was getting figured out exact same, and
we'll deny that.
So I mean, like we've said a million times, give him that first fucking year.
Absolutely, and as we should with every single player. The one thing that I will say though with Jack, from last season to this season, is because of the ways Pep play in the front 4-5, he's been seen going more centrally. And honestly, that's kind of where he belongs coming from Villa. He likes to cut and go centrally instead of going down in the corner of the box. That's not really his game. So we'll see how the evolution of Doku goes. If we can get him to be a little bit more centrally, I think he will be absolutely lethal, especially with the speed. He can listen. If Louis Mendoza could find the brakes on his skates, Doku can do it too.
Shout out to Hans for harnessing said speed and teaching him how to stop.
You just got to put up a stack of cans and just let him keep.
Was anybody heartbroken when they realized when they were older that the Hans that was in the first couple and then his brother came in? Like, I'm not gonna lie, when the third one came out, I totally thought it was still the same guy. And then I was an adult and I grew up.
Yeah. They did a very good job. They
did a fantastic job. I'm sure there were certain organizations in the past with people who have type of name of Hans that are probably very happy about that mutation.
And they're probably all in Argentina
now. So yeah, guys, that cut and dry, 6-2. We dominated that game. It was a sight to see. It was something that we all had been looking forward to because, let's be honest, these 1-0s, too close. It's a little too close.
Not good for my heart, man.
No, it's not. Like, we're getting old, all right? Heart attacks are going to start becoming a problem soon, so let's try to minimize those, yeah?
Thank you. I mean, a lot of fried food. Let's keep it together.
Right? Dude, I mean, hopefully lives in Chicago. You got the beef, you got the pizza, you got the dogs. Bro, I don't know how you're not like... I was going to say, I don't know how you're not 280, 300 pounds by now, but kudos to you for getting up and doing sit-ups, I guess.
Yeah.
Or he just got great metabolism. Good genes.
Gonna catch up. Yeah.
He does have pretty good genes, I will say. I know his family, so pretty damn good genes. So we've wrapped up the Luton match. We're gonna take our little intermission. After we come back from the intermission, I think you guys remember that we did a t-shirt contest, which ended on the 29th. We're going to announce the winner when we come back, and then we're going to get into the United match. We're also going to open up the comments section, so if you're still here, you want to bullshit with us, please fucking do it, because we love that shit. And then, yeah, we'll finish out the show. But in the meantime, we'll leave you with the great intermission. Here it goes. How do you feel about that, Kyle? How do you feel about that? If that doesn't make your heart go a little from last year, I don't know what will, but all right, guys, we're on to the United match. It is officially Derby time. Holy shit, guys. Let me first say, I want to send a massive shout out to our OSC again, Capital City Blues. Took the fam down there again for this. It was jam fucking packed up in the Ugly Mug. Jam packed. So we tried to get down there early, right? About a half an hour. We figured that would be good timing. Bro, no. There wasn't a fucking seat left except for in the back, which I'm not going to say anything because it's actually pretty nice back there. Quite like it. We're going to have to get used to that. I believe our homies from Shades of Blue, I'm not sure if it was the West Ham match or if it's a Liverpool match at the end of the season, but they'll be coming into town. We're going to be with them.
Wow.
And they're going to be setting up in the backside of the Ugly Mug. And if we're doing this in May and it's March and I was sweating in the back of that place, I cannot imagine what it's going to be like. But I digress. Had an absolute good time with you guys. We got to shout out. Well, I got to shout out after the picture that we take after the match. Let everybody know about the shirt. If you guys didn't see it, it is a map of DC, which is where we're all from, and it actually has a pinpoint on where the Ugly Mug is in DC, and then it has the coordinates of the city. All proceeds for that shirt will go to American Mental Health in Alexandria. So you get this, you see this, you want to check it out. Make sure that you go to our website at bonfire.com/store/snobby-store/. Check it out. These shirts are actually quality. Alex from Hollywood Kit Packs, he got one. There's a thumbs up. Hey, yo. He got one, showed it to me. I was kind of nervy, I'm not going to lie. But it turned out really, really good. So you guys get onto our Instagram, you can actually see a picture of him in it. Yeah. Anyways, great time. CCB. Can't wait to hang out with you guys again. We need to get Kyle back in town.
That was a hell of a time.
I'm about to have to pay for that flight, ain't I? I'm just kidding.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
So let's take a look at our predicted lineup against United. Ederson, Ake, Diaz, Stones, Walker, Kova, Rodri at the pivot, De Bruyne, Foden, Silva at the wing, Holland up front. We were pretty close.
10 out of 11 ain't bad. I'll take it.
Yeah. So we had a good week on that. I needed a drink because I'm parched as hell. These lights are fucking hot. As expected, United came in, stuck with a low block. And let's be honest, that's been happening since before winter break at this point with every team. We have problems disbanding it, guys, especially in the first half. What are some tactics that you guys would think that will help us get into the box better in the first half and create more chances? Kyle.
it's one of those things where, especially if they're very, very disciplined with their low block, you kind of just have to sit there and be patient, rotate the ball, see how they shift around, and like, that's really the thing, is swing the ball and see how they're shifting with that, and then try to pick out with that. But if they're being really disciplined, which we see a lot, mainly through the first half of matches, which really comes down to us we need to stick to our defenses and not allow that first goal through, and then we can wear them down like we usually do, and then second half, bing, bada bing, bada boom, goals. And that's really like, it's just patience, I think, is really the key. Because tactically, if they are that well disciplined in their defense, like there's only so much you can do.
Yeah, patience is the key. Switching the field to create a space, and then when guys are making runs forward and leaving the space in behind them, somebody has to fill in, and you have to have that dynamic off-ball movement. That is super important. So oftentimes, Kyle Walker, not Kyle next to me.
I mean, me too.
Great,
but
yeah, yes.
You're a lot
great.
Yeah, so fast.
Those two in particular make really good forward runs and will often occupy a defender or two as they go through. Somebody has to fill in that space behind them, and we have to find that person. Oftentimes, we've been a little slow with our ball movement or the timing of the run to fill in the space that's been created when someone goes has not quite been in line. So it's just finding those pockets of space and then being really have to be patient. And then when the opportunity happens, like we had today, we had several chances in the box. We just weren't able to finish them. Or the blocks happen. They fucking every time Phil took a damn shot today in the first half, there was somebody's face or somebody's foot or knee. Or Bruno Fernandez's dong got in the way, one of them too, and he got ripped right in the nuts, which couldn't have happened to a better fucking person too. So don't feel bad for you in the slightest, Bruno.
I think Scott said something. He was right next to me whenever that happened. He's like, "Man, he really took her to the head, didn't he?" Like, bro, that's Matt.
Yes.
And it looked like he was even kind of ready and like to articulate with the header, but it's like, shit, dude. Like,
that was a missile, and he took it right off the damn temple.
Bro.
Kobe Mainu, I hope you're okay, buddy. I really hope they did their due diligence, because that looked like a fucking concussion waiting to happen.
Right? He might have half a shiner from that one.
Yeah.
I mean, I was expecting him to just like fold over when I saw that.
He stayed on his feet. He didn't even get staggered. So that's really the way to break those low blocks down like that is what Kyle and I think just mentioned. So
yeah,
that's a good question, Colby. Thank you.
Yeah,
you allowed us to go tactical on folks, which is always fun.
Hey, Kyle, you had some notes that you wanted to bring up here. We'll let you have the floor.
Oh, that's fun. Thank you. So, I mean, I guess, like we're saying, the first half was that goal goes in. Rashford cracks one. If it's anybody, of course, it's fucking Rashford. And I mean, okay, so I do want to take a little pause and do okay, so where are we sitting? Because I don't know if you guys got to see another replay of it or whatever, but that was fucking offside. Like, Bruno was offside, right? I mean, I'm not fucking blind here. I'm not going crazy. I'm not taking fucking crazy pills. Motherfucker.
I think we might have to take a deep dive into the rule book because from what I saw, and I'm pretty sure Joe agrees as well, Humboldt was at least a foot offside. And
yeah.
He had a few steps on Ake, who was allegedly playing him on. And since it was from a punt, not a goal kick like against Brentford a few matches ago, where you're allowed to be apparently offsides, on a punt, all rules still apply, and it was on the other end on our defensive half. So it wasn't even like everybody was pushed up off in the offensive side, and that wouldn't have mattered at that point. So I felt like it was offside. Kyle Walker, John Stones, immediately hands went right up into the air. We're like looking at the ref like, dude, he was off. And nothing. And then, of course, he's a fucking worldie. Like, he could not have done that shit again if he ever tried that shit. Like, fuck off, Rashford. I like him as a person. He's really nice.
Say,
But
like,
God
I
damn it.
do, I do like Rash. Like, it kills my soul that he wears that fucking shirt. But like,
That's the problem.
He's a good person for the community and all that. But
Yeah.
yeah, goddamn, man, come wear blue. They don't love you there anymore. Come wear blue.
And you saw the other two
yeah.
chances he had. The real Rashford of this season popped up twice where he completely flubbed that shit. Like,
oh my
why
god,
could you
that
done that
one.
from the other ones? Ah.
Sometimes your time, I guess, right?
So, as far as notes go, I only have one other one to hit on, and it stays
Yeah.
in the Rashford realm, so it's good. But it was the delight that I took in from my boy Kyle, just basically being like, "You want to come down this fucking channel? I'm gonna pocket your goddamn ass all fucking day. I'm gonna call people off of you. I'm not even up on you yet. I'm gonna chase you down and call them off of you because I am going to fucking pocket you. Get after it, Kyle."
I'm fast as fuck, boy. I'm fast as fuck, boy. I'm fast as fuck, boy.
And it just made my day, like, because Rashford's fast as shit too, you know, like that's no joke.
He
And,
is.
man, loved it. Fucking get after it, Kyle. And that's what I got.
and that is Kyle's take. Joe, you had a little bit of a take there.
Yes, I recall. I think I heard them say on the broadcast that was the most shots United have faced in a half of football in almost like 20 years. So it was one-way street the entire fucking first half, minus like 3 opportunities that Rashford got off of like just long balls that they hit from Onana. So great stuff from City. More shots would have got on target if their jackass defenders would have just got out of the way sometimes. But it is what it is. So first half, great play on our part. Wish we could have finished one of those chances. Phil was a little wasteful in the first half. He had a couple of opportunities or in the first that he normally buries, but I think at least one of them was on his right foot, and I thought he was going to just bury that sucker, and it like dribbled.
Oh,
it was not well struck, unfortunately.
Hot take. All right, listen. If you're on a break like that, and doesn't matter if it's Onana or anybody, and he comes up on you, and the backside is wide the fuck open, why do you take the near post shot? Why? Like,
Why?
you have like 20 feet of fucking open space, and what the hell?
Yeah, when he hit that near post, I was like, that was a curious decision, Phil. Like,
yeah,
what are you doing, bro? You're better than.
But you know what's funny though? So in saying all that, one of the things that we put here in our notes was there's been a common saying that we've heard before from one of our players, and it usually starts with, can we talk about? In this case, can we talk about Phil a little bit more going into the second half? Because, and before we even go to that, I want to make people, well, I don't want to make people, I want to bring to everybody's attention the documentary that was made on Amazon. I believe it was for the 17-18 season. Pep gets into the locker room and gets in their fucking ass. I can't get that out of my head for the last 10 matches because every time we come out in the first half and we look a little disheveled, not quite on cue. We go into the locker room, we come back, and it's like a whole fucking different team showed up. And I wonder if Pep has the same level of that scene that we saw from, was it All or Nothing? Was it All or Nothing?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. If we can have that scene, like, I think that scene happens every week now. I really fucking do, because it's just night and day to where we play from one half to the other. But again, we're going back to, can we talk about Phil? One thing that I will say Well, no. I'm gonna leave that till we're done with this part of the segment. What do you guys have to add to this?
I've been banging the drum for 4 or 5 seasons now with Phil that he has all of the skill, talent, panache, if you will, to be a future Ballon d'Or winner.
Look at that.
And I had lots of folks telling me it's not the case. He's not that guy. You know, his teammates will take some of his shine from him because he's playing with so many other world-class players. But that dude, he is him. He is that dude. He is the shit. Phil is on fucking fire right now. He's our star boy, and I love that kid so much. And to see him get 2, shout out to you, my man's Colby James, for letting us know earlier that you thought Phil was going to have a match and have a day. And
Fucking called that shit.
he dropped 2.
I forgot that I said that.
Yeah, you did, bro. You called that one, man. So
Like I even like put it out there, like I'm gonna call this right now. Like,
And I don't ever do that, guys. Ever. Like let's tell everybody, I don't do that. I'm also the guy that refuses to give a prediction. Refusal, because I think it's so pretentious, and I feel like every time I do that, I fuck us. So I just won't fucking do it. One of the things that I just real quick that I want to show. I know this is probably a little bit premature. We kind of so we've been talking with this one guy. We shouted him out last time. His name is John Owen. He's been a great contact. He's become a good friend. He is just doing the most right now, and I absolutely love it. So because of that, he actually sent us a couple of videos that I'm going to show everybody that he took from the stands today. So we're going to hit this first one. Listen, I think Homeboy's become our new correspondent. I think this is going to be more a regular thing. We'll have some actual live footage, considering that YouTube decided to write off and take us off their fucking channel for that one episode. So we got our own material. Shout out John Owen. You are the fucking dude, man. Fucking love that guy. I cannot wait to go over and hang out with him. Like, Mary D's is already fucking playing. Oh, and by the way, on the way out from the match, he decided he wanted to take a stroll by and see what was going on. This was the queue at Mary D's.
oh yeah.
Holy shit! So deep, bro. That's like 2 New York blocks of fucking
Like,
people.
You're ordering like 7 beers at a time. Just like,
yes, because you're not getting back in that line.
yeah.
No.
Well, and you gotta like Mary D's, you gotta spray 1 at least, right? So like,
Sure. Well, hey, listen, if I'm a tourist, I'm fucking doing it. I'm sorry.
Everyone fucking does, right? Well, and like our boy Jeff, like he's always talking about us, like going with us to Mary D's. And
Yeah.
like, oh, by the way, shout out Jeff. Jeff's birthday is
Jeff Austin.
tomorrow. Yeah.
Yes. Happy early
So-
birthday, Jeff.
Yeah, and enjoy your Montreux trip. Yeah. But yeah, anyway, Mary D's beers. Yeah.
Cheers. I'm gonna let Joe have the floor for the second half, and we'll go from there, and then we'll get into these comments. Wait for some more to roll through. So if you guys got them, listen. If you guys got any takes, any questions, anything you want to talk about, go ahead and hit us in the comments. We love that shit. We will put it on the screen. We'll talk with you. We'll have a good time. So go ahead. Don't be scared.
Party on, Wayne.
Joe. Party on, Garth.
So I think when the momentum really started to shift was when Doku came off. The difference that we were talking about earlier between Jack and Doku, I think, was very noticeable in this game.
Yeah.
Dokes, as great as he is with what he does not have the minutes with the other 10 players that were on the pitch that Jack does. Jack has a better grasp and understanding of what those his other teammates are going to do when they're on the ball, when they're off the ball. They just have a better understanding, and Doku is still trying to figure that out. So you can see that he's thinking at times what he should do instead of reacting, and he holds the ball. It's not long, but it's enough for a window to close where he's thinking, do I make that pass? Do I go? What should I do here? So Doku, again, not trashing the kid at all. I love him. Trust me, I love the kid. He's just a little behind where the other guys are with the understanding of how Pep and the rest of those guys want to play. And that's understandable because he doesn't have the minutes with that group like someone like Jack has. That's just to be expected. So,
and what do we always go on about, though? What do we always go on about? It takes 1 year to get into Pep side.
Yeah,
exactly. To get into Pep side correctly, to be utilized to your best ability, it takes a year. So, and, I mean, we're halfway through this, and he's still performing. And I'm not gonna say that one's better than the other, but he is performing eons better than Jack in his first season. So I'll take what I can get from him right now.
Yeah, he's not a liability at all. It's just when you see Jack or Jules out there with that group, because they have that cohesion, the ball moves better, it moves quicker. Those off-ball runs that are being seen, and they understand how each other likes to play just because of the match minutes that they have with each other. So that will come. Absolutely will come with Dokes. And next season, the sky's the limit with him and what we have in that front attacking group, because there's so much to like. There's so much to like there. It's just those for me would be the things for him to work on, would be figuring that piece out and then kind of developing a little bit more of a left foot, because he is so heavily right-footed right now that teams know that he's not going to drive down to the end line and hit a ball in with his left. He's always looking to get it back onto his right. And that's the case with a lot of players. So let's be fair. But those are the things I think he'll be working on moving forward. Loved it. I didn't see it during the match, but I saw it while I was scrolling social media. I loved seeing Erling Haaland doing the Poznan with the crowd on the pitch. While the match. Dude is fucking through and through. So fuck off, Real Madrid or Barcelona or whoever thinks they're going to become.
Right.
That dude.
Bro. Okay. The fucking journos. So this week, I don't know if you guys saw, I think it was One Football or one of those fucking brands. They said there was a column about him going to Barcelona. Bro.
They can't afford their fucking lights right now. Get the fuck out of here.
Right? I don't mean to say this in any ill will or whatever, but right now their best player, who is it? Who is it? Gundogan.
Mr. Whippy?
Mr. Whippy is their best player right now. Where'd he come from? I'm just saying. Well, yeah, but
and it's so fucking predictable at this point that shit happens, because they did the same thing with Kevin, where Kevin magically prefers a move to the MLS over Saudi Arabia League. We're playing Manchester United in a big derby, and now Haaland and Kevin are being linked. And I do that with air quotes like a motherfucker. Linked with other clubs. You red journos are so fucking predictable. And we see right through that shit. It's so ridiculous. It happens every fucking derby week. Every time.
Yeah, they're calling for Kev to go to fucking Inter Miami with Messi and Luis Suarez. Like,
here.
That's not
in like 10 years, maybe. Like,
right. I mean, I could be okay with this if you decided, like, yes, I want to leave the Prem. I want something a little bit different pace. I'm getting old. I mean, because it wasn't just the MLS; it was also the Saudi League that has been crying for his attention. I think, in the grand scheme of it, if this was a reality that happened, he would probably choose the MLS over the Saudi League? Because if you look at what's going on with all the players that have moved over to the Saudi League, between Benzema, Mahrez, name the lot, they all want to come back.
Yeah, they're pissed. Like they're
so mad. And if you didn't see that coming, if you did not see that coming, like you are borderline delusional, probably. The money that comes along with that doesn't a lot of good play styles, tactics from coaches. Also, the life that you have to live in those countries, you're censored to all hell. And I'm not saying that Benzema or the rest of the guys are outspoken and like have problems with certain cultural things, but you can't be you, really. And it's just showing. It's just showing.
Did you guys also see Erik ten Hag spat it out of the mouth again after the match and said the margins were small and his side played well and the score line really didn't match the play style? Thanks for more meme opportunities, my man, because I'll be using the fuck out of that
content.
shit.
Thank you for the content.
You dumbass. There's no way you could say that shit.
Error's end, right?
We haven't heard Klopp, saying some bullshit excuses lately. So somebody's got to fill that void. And
yeah, I think you got. Yeah, that's the point. You got it.
Like, I mean, at least you didn't say the grass is too tall or something, Like,
oh my god. So, you know what? Yeah, Orward, right? Listen, if you guys are in here, if you get offended by anything we say, like, get a helmet because it's going to get rough at times. So we got a question here for our boy Chad. You touched on this a bit already, but we cannot afford a first half like this next Sunday. What needs to change tactically? Joe and Kyle are our tacticians, so spew away.
You're absolutely right. We cannot have that kind of first half against Liverpool. We will get punished much more than what United was able to do. So we absolutely need to start a little bit faster. With Liverpool, they're going to play high. They're going to play a high defensive line. So if that's the case, we're going to have to look to diversify a little bit with our attacking patterns. We cannot just keep knocking the ball around side to side and then absolutely 1,000% fraud. Yes. Good looks on that comment right there. Goddamn right. So we're going to have to look to play some direct through balls, kind of like against Luton. I think we're going to need to, even if they don't work, we have to give them the illusion that we will hit that ball. Otherwise, they're just going to sit on the patterns of play that we tend to work through. So tactically, we have to be diverse with the way we move the ball up the pitch. We can't just try to do little ticky-tack passes all the time. We got to keep possession, obviously, but we do need to hit some long balls in for Erling to go chase. And it'll be very curious to see the lineup that Pep chooses for that particular match, because that will also tell us a little bit about how they're going to play. So, Kyle, I'm not sure if you have anything different, but that's, to me, diversify your attacking movements is going to be key with Liverpool.
Yeah, not really different. I mean, basically the same vein. Instead of through ball or like long balls like that, I mean, I want to see more of like, Diaz, Stones, those guys making runs out of the back and actually pulling up and sucking in the defense on them more. So we have those more spaces created out of that. And I think that's really where it's going to happen, and then runs off of that. But yeah, those little connections, that's really where it's going to work if we really do. I mean, I think that, I mean, we've seen this match, we've seen this match before. We both come out guns blazing, and it just kind of depends on who's on it. And I mean, given what we saw against Forest from Liverpool, I feel like we're in a much better form situation. But I mean, any given fucking Sunday, right?
Well, they're also pretty injury riddled right now, so let's just see how all that goes too.
True.
So, from my standpoint, one of the things that I've noticed, and I've said this in the past couple of episodes about how we usually get a lot of space left to us out wide. In this match, specifically against United, it was quite the reverse. We played a little bit more compact. That gave them exposure on the wings, which ultimately gave Rashford his opportunities. One of the things that I want to see moving forward is us balance ourselves out a little bit more, both defensively and on the attack. I feel like there's a lot of shifting positions, there's a lot of moving pieces, and that's all fine and good because it creates confusion. But on the same, we're not exploiting the spaces the way that we should, and I think that that's something that Pep really needs to hone in on, especially if we're attacking from one side of the field or the other. We need to use our pieces to find those open spaces, especially for as much as we cross in from the corner. I think we need to minimize that a lot. I also think that a lot of through balls, what has worked best for us so far over the last 6-7 matches are the through balls up the middle to Holland, to Foden, to whoever it may be, that has a break in the attack or in the defense for them. If we can expose that more, I think we'll see a lot more chances on, a lot more contributions coming up into the box. So that's all I got.
Absolutely.
That's solid. Yeah, I agree.
Mm-hmm. I agree 100%.
So Derby's done. We've won. We stomached it. We put it on them as we should have. I just want to make sure that everybody knows that that's the man of the fucking match.
Weird face.
He's got the left wink going on, so he captured the picture right at the right moment. So kudos to that camera guy who got that picture at that time.
Well, so me and Joe had a little bit of speculation as to why Foden is wearing the tape on his hand. Is it a broken finger? Do you think it's a broken finger? And how long has that broken finger been broken? Because he's been wearing that for a while. Like, is this just like a thing that he's doing? Has anybody seen anything? Because
I haven't anything posted saying that he's got an injury there. So,
I mean, there really isn't much else you can do, you know. So
how'd you fuck your finger up? You play with your feet. I mean, you know, maybe. No,
he's not at the pitch all the time, you know.
I was going to say something entirely too vulgar, but I think that I am going to that. So we showed you a video earlier from our buddy John, our correspondent, as I'm calling him now. He got a little video of Phil walking off. That's so fucking cool, bro. Your feet are good as shit too, by the way. Like,
yeah, cheers.
Like, I want to know what stand you're sitting in and who you're sitting around because it looks like you're in a good part. I'm just saying. So like we said, we've closed down United. We're on to the next match. Our next match is against Copenhagen. Second leg. What are some of you got? Yep, at home. What are your predictions for this one? We did a number on them the last time. What are your predictions for this one? What do you expect from this, especially being at home, especially being up in the aggregate? Who do you play? Who do you not play? Whatever it may be. Kyle.
Well, first, as far as like playing people, I think we do start. I mean, like Rico, Bob, like put those kids in at least 60, 65 minutes, you know?
Yeah.
Like, assuming that shit doesn't doesn't go well, and that's why it's 60, 65, you need to make some changes, or whatever the reason is. But yeah, start out like that, because like you said, we're already up, we're at home, and I think that's the only reason why we had any kind of tough situation with them in the first place is because we were there, their crowd was in it. I mean, it was like that was an atmosphere. And yeah, coming home, not having to travel and do all that bullshit. I think we're yeah, like I said, just play the kids, let everyone get a little break that we can. And I think it's just kind of skating on to the next round, honestly, if you ask me.
Yeah, coming home is a great opportunity for the young guys to come in and play for sure. So I do think we're going to see some squad rotation and some guys get a little bit of a breather, especially with the lead. And those young guys typically will perform a little bit better when they're home. So I really hope we see Bob and Rico. I think we're going to maybe get Holland a little breather, let Jules start up top, and get Kova, maybe Nunez in there again. So I think we're going to see some rotation, get some other guys in there. I do think some of our big guns will. I think it'll be a mix for a starting lineup of some of our big guns, along with getting some of the young guys in there. Yeah, because you don't want our best players going in cold to a Liverpool match. So you want them to still maintain a little bit of form. So I do think some will get in there. Well done.
I feel you, girl. I feel you.
That's a necessary task for sure.
Fuckers.
Is it messier in Canada? I don't know.
I don't know, actually. That's a great question. Ellie, if you want to throw that up in the comments and let us know how taxation goes in the Canadian realm, like that would be really dope.
Up the border.
Crazy up there. So where are we at? We're in open discussions now. Before we do that, let's talk a little bit about we drew Newcastle, which we'll be playing on the 16th, which is going to be it actually flexed out the Brighton game that Sunday, which we'll be making up later in the season. What do you guys expect? And I know this is jumping a little bit ahead, but what do you guys expect from Newcastle, considering they've had a real rocky season?
Be our fourth time playing those fuckers this year.
Yeah, no shit.
I'm tired of seeing them. God damn.
Stupid.
We know that they're gonna come out strong because they don't have their league play recently has been poor, and they're not in great Champions League position going forward in any of those European football spots. So this is a big deal for them because they don't have a lot of opportunities to win other trophies or anything. So this is going to be something that they're going to be putting their best lineup out for. I think we handle them again. Their pace hurt us a little bit, but thankfully Kevin came back and found fucking Oscar Barb again for that game winner late. That was helpful. But I think we have an opportunity there to progress. That's a draw I would have liked. Obviously, everybody wanted Coventry, but I'll take Newcastle because we know them well. We know what they're going to be doing, and I think Pep and the lads will be ready to go.
And that last bit is really what I wanted to key on. Like, yeah, again, the 4 matches, we fucking know this team. We've played this team. At some point, their lineups don't change. We know who they're going to fucking put on the pitch for the most part. And, things like that. I just feel like, yeah, maybe a narrow 2. I think it'll be more in that 3-1 range. Maybe even 4 if we're cooking. But I think it won't be too difficult. I think that I think they might get like a nice break goal or something on us. And then we'll just I just feel like we know him too well. Pep knows him too well. It's
having one of your biggest signings get a fucking ban right as he walks in. Then you're kind of really left with who's the guy that Jack Grealish made fun of?
Almiron. Yep.
Almiron. You got Almiron, you got Anthony Gordon, Kieran Trippier. That's it. Is there anybody else that I missed? Like,
I mean, Joe Linton's been
Joe Linton, yeah.
Is,
Guimarães, or however you pronounce his last name.
Guimarães,
He's
yeah,
solid,
yeah.
but
He's also been one of those players that is like, you don't really know what you're getting on any given day. Like some guy,
Yep.
sometimes he comes out and he performs world class, and other times you're like, bro, how'd you make it here?
Yeah, get on the fucking bench. And I feel like that about, like, honestly, their whole team. Like, I feel like, other than Trips, I think Trips is consistent and yeah, he's fantastic. But that's
Right.
it. Like I just
you prefer your right back not be your most dangerous offensive player, but
yeah.
I'm just saying.
I mean, it's great for FPL, but that's about it.
Exactly.
How's good?
Huh?
Kenny Rogers over here.
Got no one to hold him.
Got nowhere to hold him. Where to hold him?
Transport me right into Ted Lasso. I think just to thank you guys.
That's right. That's right. Listen, I gotta say, for those of you guys that are in here, I don't know if you have or have not watched the show. Ted Lasso, in so many different ways aside from football, is literally one of the best shows ever. And I don't think if it wasn't for that show and it wasn't for you two, in my journey in doing this, I probably still wouldn't be a part of it.
And FIFA being an awesome fit.
Yeah. Spent so many hours on FIFA. Yeah, dude. I don't know if it wasn't for those things that I'd be a part of it. I'm so happy and blessed that I'm here with you guys right now. Oh man.
Ellie, we're gonna fight.
Man, we're gonna fucking fight, dude. What?
I mean, okay, so like
certain parts I can maybe see.
That, like, I mean, I don't know. Like the best episode was Beard After Dark or whatever it was. Like that's
right.
But yeah.
Well, also, shit. God damn it, what was his name? Colin? Was it Colin?
Mm-hmm.
When he came out to Trent Krim, like obviously Trent saw it in one episode.
That was the Amsterdam episode. That was one of the best fucking episodes of TV I've ever seen in my life. So
absolutely, like, and I was like,
Piggy Stardust at the end.
There was always something.
I disagree with that one.
There was something about Colin right from the beginning of the show that kind of seemed off of me. And as the seasons went on, as the episodes came, I could kind of see it because he was always very reserved. But then when it came finally to fruition in the third season, it actually made me extremely happy because not saying that I am, but knowing people within the gay community that have struggled with coming out to people who have misguided themselves through life, not being true to who they are or being outright about it, it's really, really tough. And I know that. My sister, I'll use that as a prime example. She came out to me when she was 16. I had just moved back from Arizona. I took her out shopping. And she told me outright that she was. And all my life I kind of knew. I wasn't gonna put a label on it until she did. And I know how hard it was for her to say that, not just to my mother, but to my father. So to see that happen with Colin in there, it just, I don't know, it hit certain strings with me, and it was very, very awesome. Ellie says that the ending was unsatisfying. They should have done another season. I totally agree with you, and we are 100% behind that. However, understanding the format of English sitcoms or whatever, any kind of series, they typically do it in what's called the Magician's Act. You have the opening, the turn, and then the prestige. So that was very, very on point for that guideline or that structure. I honestly think, though, that there could be several spin-offs from that show and it be amazing. Between Roy, Colin, maybe Trent Krim,
The women's team.
like that.
There's
I
so
mean,
much
the team
they
can
still
just
do.
continue on without Ted. Like that's the point. Like, you know, Ted went back. Everyone's still doing their thing back there. I mean, right? Because Beard's still
Yeah,
there. Like everyone's still
everybody.
there.
Right.
Like just, and then have Ted come back here and there. Whatever, you know. There. We just made it easy for you.
Jason, Brendan. Actually, we didn't even talk about this. Holy shit! And I should have put it up in the thing so I could show it. Brendan Hunt shared our fucking story because it was right after the SAGs. Well, no, yeah, it was right after the SAGs. They ended up going. Was it an LA Galaxy or LAFC?
Yep.
Yeah, LA Galaxy game.
Mm-hmm.
Right before the SAGs, somebody got a picture of him. I got it, and all I put was what decisions were made. And he reposted it, and then he kept looking at the story, and he still kind of looks at the story every once in a while. So, like, holy shit, fucking Beard,
Fucking dope.
Thank
So
you,
cool.
dude.
Thank you. We appreciate your service to the world.
But yes, between you, Brett Goldstein, and Jason Sudeikis, please make something more. I think we're all dying for it at this point a little bit.
And I
Just
think a
not
lot
quite
of
the
us have been
same.
sitting there like, we want to keep
Dude.
doing this shit, you know?
Wads, Juno, like that. Like what? I mean, it's not, which I just found this out. I forget which one of you told me that she was the Shane Bell ringer.
Kyle
can't
brought it
get
up,
that
and
out of
I
my
already
head.
knew this. So
Yeah.
I thought,
Apparently,
yeah,
I figured y'all.
just sitting with information and not fucking telling anybody.
you jerk.
Shame.
Shame on me, apparently. Shit. Damn.
God bless it.
I like that one.
Dude, there's so
That's
many
what the
fun
kids
little
be saying.
toys that I have in here. So I could just sit here and press buttons all day. Comment section. You got more? This has actually been the biggest night for us in the comment section. Glad Ellie got in here, but we all know why she is. Listen, girl, the moment you ask for him, you set yourself up as a target for my fun and my enjoyment. I let you go. I let it unfold. Here he is. He's back. So keep coming in every week. Spread the word. Spread the words. All of you guys, listen, the one thing that helps us so freaking much, when we post stuff, if you share it on your story or whatever, let people know, it helps the network expand. So it's not just secluded to us. Make this community. We want to make this community. We want to be a part of the community with everybody. So if you can help us, we'll help you. And in turn, we just make a big family, right? I'm all about
Hell
family.
yes.
All about family. If you make that heart all the way, he doesn't know what to do with his hand.
Thank you. I'm glad you picked that one. Picked up that one. No, wait, can we do?
No, it doesn't work like that, but yes.
We're gonna get it.
Almost there. Joe, move your thumb down.
Okay.
All right, we've been fucking around for a while. Listen, comment section. You guys have been fucking real. If you guys can get in there, you have a few more questions for us in the last few minutes. Before we even wrap this up, I totally forgot after the intermission. Totally forgot. That's my fault. Got a little ahead of myself. We have a winner. If you guys don't remember, we had a contest going for our Anti-Journal shirt. Yes, we're going to Ohio. We'll see you there. So we had our first shirt pop up, the Anti-Journal Club. I'm pressing too many goddamn buttons. The contest ended on February 29th. Leap year, weird. Sorry for those of you who have taxes that you pay through your jobs because you got fucked on that day. I'm just saying. So the contest ended. We got a winner. I'm going to announce the winner right now, but I'm going to tell you a little bit about this guy. This guy pulled me out of what I thought to be retirement, that I was going to hang this up. I was never going to do it again. He went out of his way and told me, I'm not letting you go. You're not done. He did the most on this post. He did what was asked. And he did it not once, not twice, not 3 times. He did it 4 more times than the rest of y'all have put in. So, without further ado, our winner of the contest is Shades of Blue, Crunk Chocolate. It's heading to you, buddy. Welcome to the fleet, bruh. Let's go. Let's go. I think I have a round of applause somewhere. I do. It's right there. Probably should have put the drum roll in, but oopsies.
Hindsight.
That shirt will be coming to you, bud. I'm actually going to be throwing out shirts tomorrow. There's been several orders, so they're going to be going out tomorrow for all of you that ordered one or did a little bartering with us. They will be coming to you tomorrow. I'll make sure that you have you guys' tracking numbers. Do not forget, again, we have a whole catalog of shirts. We got 7 shirts now, and one of them goes to charity to the American Mental Health Association in Alexandria, Virginia. Here's a look at them again. No room for wankers ever. Don't come in here and be that guy. Anti-Journo Club. Listen, if you hate journos, we hate them too. That's why we're here. So boom. And if you hate Man United,
We're close. We're close.
listen, Ellie, shout out Ellie. She helped me fix that. Thank you. And then, of course, our Scene Kid shirt, which is an ode to our boys, the Gallaghers Squared. And then, of course, the map of DC with where the exact location of Ugly Mug is. That is our OSC. If you guys are ever in DC, you want to hang out, let us know you're here. We'll come down and hang out. I live like an hour and a half away from DC, so it's quite a haul. But we've been there for the past couple weeks, and it's been a hell of a lot of fun. Hell of a lot of fun. Hey, Chad. Don't do it, bro. If you know what the middle of fucking Florida is, you won't do it. Especially in July or August.
You know, if you want to go see some Harry Potter shit too afterwards,
Sure.
there's all kinds.
Sure. I'll do it. Go to Universal, do a little downtown Disney action.
Yeah.
You know?
Well,
Go
Disney
drink around
Springs
Epcot.
now.
Like,
Yeah, we like that one too. If you guys didn't see it, it's obviously a play off of the No Room for Racism, which we firmly stand with. But it's a little play off of that because let's just not take things so seriously all the time, guys. Let's have some fun. This is football. We're supposed to be having fun. This isn't let me beat you in the head with fucking policies and bullshit.
don't be a wanker.
Don't be a fucking wanker.
Simple.
All right, guys. You guys have been absolutely awesome in the comment section. Kyle, welcome back.
It's a true pleasure. Thank you so
We
much.
have missed you. We have missed you.
Big
Ellie.
facts.
Cheers.
All right, guys. I think that is all the time we got for you tonight. I'm going to leave you with a little something. It's Darby, right? Who knows all the Darby songs? Do you? I don't know. We're going to play this one for you.
You don't find out.
Man United. Get bigger, we play. Man United. Let's go. Listen. Till next week, guys. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you then. Up the Blues. and we love you. And I don't know why that one repeated, but we'll just let it go. We got one more call.
It sounded good. It sounded good.
Hold on. We got one more call. I'm gonna pull that up. My father said to me one day, "Is it red or blue for you?" Well, you clearly chose the fucking right answer.
I mean,
you clearly chose the right answer, bud. Hey, thank you for tuning in tonight, especially you in the comment. Thank you, Ellie. Thank you, Chad. Who else we got in here? Who else do we have in here? I think that's it. For the 4, 5, 6 of you that were in watching us tonight, thank you for tuning in. Again, we'll see you next week. Look out for us. We'll be covering Copenhagen and then going into
Liverpool.
Yeah.
Heavy on the VAR.
Heavy on the bar. All right, y'all. Peace.